sure you guys can't be bothered to do loads. I can't, that's for sure. So, in case he does come and join me, I'll leave that one there. Oh, mute. Oh, mute. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, well remembered. I'll wake up in a minute. I've only been awake since bloody 4:45. Right, mute. Oh, lovely. Sweet. Right, let's lie down then. And as always, we're going to start our practice with some breathing because, well, it's the best part of the practice. But it's for me anyway, so as you're all here with me, you can do as I say. Right, so just allow yourself to lie down. And again, as always, your legs can be straight, your legs can be bent. You can keep your knees not together, you can keep them apart. You can have your soles of the feet together into a Baddha Konasana. See where your hips would like you to be today. And then allow yourself just to wriggle and squirm around a bit, and just imagine that you're just yawning and stretching and trying to figure out where the tight bits are, where your tensions are held. Maybe just allow some fingers to run through your hair. Maybe just allow the fingers and the hands just to draw your neck out a little bit longer. And then we'll just find stillness. So whatever stillness looks like for you, allow that to be where you move into right now. You could maybe rest a hand on your belly, maybe rest a hand on your chest. Or just have your hands down beside you. So we're just going to start with some simple box breathing, and what I'd like you to try to do is to play with, you're going to start at 4 seconds, you'll do around 4 seconds. If that feels super easy, then you're going to go to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. You're just going to build up to a place in which you can find your edge, you can find your limit. So if you're not sure what I mean by box breathing, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And as I say, if that feels easy, it doesn't feel stressful, it feels as if you can do it without any kind of sensations of oxygen hunger. Then allow yourself to jump up a second on each of those next time around. And as you do these little box breathing techniques, just allow each and every fibre of your body to surrender around it. So try not to grip with your teeth, try not to grip with your eyes, your eyebrows. Let it all go. Let the tension in the whole of you just dissolve. And maybe you're up to 6 seconds in. Holding for 6. Exhale for 6. Holding for 6. That still finds easy, then of course take it a little bit longer. Begin to actually, even though this should be a relatively relaxing, calming breath, just try to find the place where you can begin to feel the challenge enough that maybe your body, your brain, your nervous system can begin to adapt to the challenge. Again, maybe that means you're now at 7 or 8. But of course, if you got to 6 and then it begins to become a struggle, then that's where you'd stay. You wouldn't go any higher. The whole purpose of these practices is for you to develop your own practice. It's to develop your own sets of limitations of where you currently are. It isn't to force and push yourself through. And as you're breathing in, do you feel we still want to work, even when we're doing this box breathing, throughout all of these, we want to try to work on that kind of Maha-Yoga Pranayama, the idea of the 3-part breath, the belly, the ribs, the sternum and collarbones, the sternum, the collarbones, the ribs and the belly. So we move through these 3 sections. Belly expands and inflates, ribs expand and inflate, collarbones expand and inflate. And then collarbones, sternum, ribs and belly all contract and conflate down. So we'll just take another 3 rounds of this, whatever your breath count is. So even if your breath counts 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, you're just going to do 3 more rounds. If your breath count is up to 7 seconds, you're just going to do 3 more rounds. If you're doing the shorter one, all you're going to do is after you've finished, you're just going to return to almost a Shavasana-like position, where you'd scan through the body from the crown of the head to the tip of the toes. And you just let everything relax. And you just try to feel for the areas of tension. And you just try to let them go. Perhaps if you were getting up there with your numbers a little bit and you were up towards the 7 or 8, you should be on the final breath now. And then as you finish that final breath, whenever that might be for you, allow yourself to do exactly the same as the others who might have already finished. So just scan the body, crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Breathing into the areas of tension. releasing into those spaces. And then slowly beginning just to all return to a place in which you're a little bit more present in the body. You've kind of stopped scanning through each individual part and you're just aware of the whole. Allow the arms to just reach gently up over long behind your head. Begin to lengthen and stretch your feet out as well. Taking again that same idea of a morning yawning pandiculation, that big waking up sensation, and just slide your left foot in towards your bum. Bring your right foot up towards, on top of your left thigh. So we're not going to use our hands at this point, we are just going to use the muscles in our legs and back and tummy. So just pick your left foot up off the floor, the right foot is still sitting on top. So it's like doing that supine pigeon figure four thing, but you're just doing it with the muscles in the legs and the body rather than using the arms. And you can kind of do whatever. You could swing and sway your left shin and foot around. You could sway around on the low back. You could draw little circles around the low back as you move from the left to the right. And then let's just let that left foot come down. Switch legs, right foot to the floor, left foot hooks up. This should just give us a bit of waking up into our right hip. It's having to do a bit of work to hold the left foot, the left thigh attached to it. And again, as always, as I said last time, you could straighten and bend that right knee, drawing some little circles if you wish. Again, you could draw some little figure eights, still trying to keep that knee gently drawing in towards your belly. Keep trying to push the left knee away from your belly. And then let's place that right foot down, the left foot comes down. Reach the arms for your knees, roll your knees towards the chest, give everything a big hug and squeeze. You can keep your head on the floor or bring your chin to your chest and your nose towards your knees. Just let that left leg go long again. So the right knee is drawing in. Little Ardha Padmanuksasana. Gently just hugging that right knee in. And again, if you wished, you could begin to maybe put your hands behind your right thigh rather than on the right shin. And you could just draw some little circles around with the ankle. You could bend and flex that knee a little bit. Pulling that right knee back in. Hopefully that just feels like that right leg is beginning to wake up a little bit. Placing that right foot back down to the floor. Pull the left knee in. Give that left knee a big hug. Straighten the right leg out. And then we're there again, just to find that little Padmanuksasana. Drawing that knee in, squeezing the belly. By all means now, if you want to, again, bring the hands behind your left thigh, and then you can straighten that left foot up towards the sky and draw some circles there again. And again, you could bend it and straighten it, and bend it and straighten it, and just see how that feels as you do that. And then let's bring both knees back up in towards the chest. Give them both a big hug and squeeze. And then let's just begin to roll our spine up and down the mat, just gently massaging it out, and then find your way up to a nice seated position. And as you come up, we'll just find a little Baddha Konasana, a little cobbler's pose. So soles of the feet together, just give them a little bounce out. And just fold forward over your legs. Maybe sitting a little bit taller just to find the spine growing tall. Can you let the shoulders drop down away from your ears? Just stop the bouncing for a minute. And how heavy can you let your shoulders feel? Can you feel as if the arms are almost being sucked out of their joint, but purely by gravity? Try to let the tension in the shoulders go. Once we're there, allow the chin to drop to chest. Allow your spine to roll down. Just allow yourself to come into a bit of a forward fold. Don't worry about coming forward. So that's probably the wrong word, forward fold. Think about it being a spinal roll down. So your head is almost trying to get between your feet and your hips, rather than it being sort of your nose in front of your toes. Try to feel as if it's the back of your body, so literally your back is getting a nice big pull and lengthen, as if we're gently lengthening, stretching into the back of the body. And then let's inhale, sit up. So we're going to sit cross-legged, or you can stay in Baddha Konasana, or you can do whatever seated position works best for you. But we're just going to find our way into a comfortable seated position. And we're going to start with a little Sufi grind. So imagining that your spine is your kind of stirring stick, your pelvis is your pot. And you're just going to try to gently move your chest around on top of your pelvis. And then we're going to take it the other direction. So can you try to observe as to which parts of your back you keep using? Which parts of your spine you're doing all the work with? For me, it's always here. I'm trying to focus on, can I get more movement through the top of my back? And you could always try to kind of counter the head as well. So as the chest is going right, the head is going left. As the chest comes forward, the chin is dropped. So it's almost like we're doing those little cogs, if any of you have done those with me. You're just doing it in the round. And then let's come back through to center. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, let's draw the arms back down. So just moving through our shoulders, inhale, drawing up. Exhale, coming back down. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, hands stop down beside you. We're just going to turn both thumbs backwards. Just don't crank it, don't force it, just feel where they stop, what happens to your spine and your chest as you do. Turn the thumbs forward, rounding down. Inhale, coming back through again. And then forward and back round. Come back through, right hand behind the back, left hand to your right knee. It's a nice early twist, not going to force anything, just a little twist that direction. Excuse me, missed tea break. So just gently rotating there. And again, just try looking left and then looking right. Does that change the sensation through the twist? As you look back left, do you find that some of your left side of your body fires up a bit more? Or does it get a bit less so when you look right. So it does for me anyway. And then let's release and go the other direction. Left hand down behind you, right hand to your left knee. Sit tall. And then twisting through towards the left. And then same idea, just play. Figure out what feels better, what feels worse, where gives you a nicer sensation and a nicer pull. And then coming back out. So again, let's just draw those arms up over the head. And then cactus arms down this time, cactus arms down. Try, as they come down, can you get your elbows to move back in space? Imagine you're going to try and touch the wall, the sofa, the whatever it is behind you, and then draw them down. Hands into the chest, interlink, push your spine back. Push the hands forward, palms facing towards your camera. Keep your chin looking forward though, try not to look down. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, coming back down. This time though, spin the fingers so, or the palms so they face in towards you. Let the hands come apart, so it should give you even more space to push your spine back, to feel your shoulder blades wrap over your ribs. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, rounding down. As you come out of this, hands to the floor, roll over onto hands and knees. So from there, just begin to gently sway and roll yourself around. Allow your shoulders to gently draw circles. So a bit like what we've already done. You're just going to feel your scapula, the wings on your back, move around, over and down, and glide around your rib cage. Tailbone tucks, tailbone unfurls, tailbone tucks, tailbone unfurls. Again, drawing some big hip circles perhaps, that might feel nice at this point. So again, just going nice and slow and steady and gentle, and just trying to feel the difference between right side and left. And hopefully as you kind of push your hips towards, say, the left, and you push them back, you should feel as if the left side of the body begins to open a bit more, the right side closes, you go the other way, and vice versa. So moving towards Anahatasana, melting heart. Just walk the hands forward. Of course, drop to the elbows if you would like. We're not trying to overly achieve a huge amount other than just feeling in towards our body today. So if that would feel like the elbows should be down, then pop the elbows down. Can you just gently lift your ribs up? So that's a bit of a weird one. So imagine you're rounding your spine like we've been doing in all of those other bits and pieces of the practice. And then sitting back towards your toes, everyone's least favourite position, coming into toes pose. So again, if this is torturous for you, then of course maybe come up higher, that might be easier. Maybe keep the hands down in front and just slowly move your hips back until you find a place which feels nice to you. Nice being inverted commas. So hang out here for a few moments, close your eyes and breathe. 30 seconds, 3 breaths. In for 4 and out for 6. Always focusing, slowing, softening, becoming more and more aware of how to breathe in this fashion, in this manner. Final breath. Let's bring hands and knees back down towards the floor. Just tap the top of the toes down on the floor, let them feel a bit more worked out. Now, from here, cat-cows, but again, not your kind of traditional cat-cows. Take a line, maybe kind of 3 inches in front of your fingertips, and just stay there. You want your shoulders over your wrists and your knees under your hips. Now, can we just start by trying to move our tailbone? Try not to move your upper back, just try to move the tailbone. Can you move your low back at all? And where it doesn't move, can you just try to slow it down even more, quieten it down even more? Even, maybe just for a second, point to the bit of your back that you want to move. So if you were to find that kind of where your pelvis and spine meet, around that SIJ area, just find that and put your finger there and literally put your finger on it so that you can feel which part it is you want to move first. Hand can stay there or can come back to the floor. And then can you try to move that little bit of the spine that we just said, that you just pointed to, and then you're just going to keep moving from there, and you're going to roll it all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Now from there, we're going to bring it all the way back down, all the way back down, all the way back down. You should feel like the chest just begins to get drawn between your arms, but you're still looking 3 inches in front of your hands. And then again, tuck the tailbone, roll yourself back through, back up, rounding, rounding, rounding. Try not to move your weight back towards your heels if you can here. Try to keep it stacked over the hands, and then unfurl that tailbone and roll it back through. Cool. Tuck your toes, lift yourself up. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet and just fold down over our legs into a little forward fold. But you're just going to sway and shake yourself around. So really soft, kind of jelly-like movements. Just trying to let everything go. So even just straighten your knees as much as they can go, and then just soften them down. Just feel as if you actually become aware of what maybe straight feels like for you, and then what straight isn't for you. How much effort does it take to hold them straight? How much effort does it take to flop over yourself not straight? Find your fingertips into the floor. You're going to bend your left knee. Left hand stays down. You're going to lift your right hand up and twist to the left. So again, you're going to work your left leg straight. What I don't want you to do is, as you go to straighten your left knee, is find that you're using your quad, your muscles on the front of your leg, to straighten it, and then really forcing the back of the knee backwards. Instead, just go nice and slow and steady, and only move to the place where the joints will currently go without forcing it back. Left hand comes down to the floor, switching sides. So again, lift a little bit towards a flat-ish back, lift the right hand up, and feel that right knee just beginning to work towards straight. Hello, Douglas. And then bring that hand back down. Inhale. We'll roll our way up, so don't go slowly. By rolling up, we don't just stand up. We're going to do what we did in that cat-cow. So we're going to try and tuck our tailbone under us. Feel our whole spine beginning to roll up and up and up and up and up, until we find our way up to a standing position. Now from here, just give yourself a moment to shake around, and then find yourself standing still. So we're just going to do a little bit of shoulder circumduction. I think if you joined my class maybe yesterday on bamboo, I might have done this. I can't remember. I've done it at some point recently. So we're going to do it again because it's good for you. So imagine when you used to go to the school disco and you've done YMCA. Our arms are here, they're not going to be here, okay? I want you to feel as if they come out to here. In fact, if you all do it, if you bring your arms right close to your ears, you can feel like it gets quite pinchy in like the shoulder up here. Whereas if you just relax them away, it kind of feels like your shoulder blades relax a bit more, your back relaxes a bit more, everything just relaxes a bit more. So relax your hands again. So I want you to think that when we flex our arms up, they're going to come to there rather than this place super close in towards your head. So what we're going to do is just going to circumduct our shoulders, and I want you to watch and notice how the hands have to move. So from here, we're just going to inhale, slowly draw the arms up, out in front. Thumbs leading towards the sky, palms are facing each other. Now they reach kind of 12 o'clock above our heads. Now to get them back behind us, the body has no choice but for the thumbs to turn inwards and the hands to come down. Suddenly the hands are spun, but now they're back to where they started. Look guys, stop with that. And then again, we're going to draw those hands up in front, nice and slow and steady. Now I want you to just pay attention. You can even do it with your eyes closed if you wanted. But how does your chest feel when you do it? As they come back up over the top. As you come to this point here, hopefully, this is a bit like us doing our cactus arms. It should be giving you an awareness, a sensation of the chest beginning to rise. Hands come back down. Again, 2 more times like that. Thumbs lead the way. They come up. We get our YMCA. And then as they come round, the scapula almost slides down and in. And they kind of come into this sliding down and in, and they almost tuck up in towards our ribs to kind of lift our chest. Final time, that's it. Lifting the arms up, and then exhale, feel those thumbs spin down and the chest lift up and round, relaxing down there. Don't know if you can see Dexter, he's a bit special. He likes trees to stick his head in, and he just stands there and wags his tail in trances. I don't know. Apparently that's a thing some dogs do, but he's just a bit weird. So we're going to go backwards and see what happens. So we're going to try it. This is a bit harder. It feels weird. So we're going to take those thumbs sort of back, and as they come back and round, they suddenly reach towards the top, and the hands are now facing each other. And then they come back down and in. So they start by the thumbs spin out, and the palms are facing away from each other. As they come round towards the top, the palms have suddenly met each other, and then they come back down. And then one more time, as we take them back, it almost has no choice but for the thumbs to spin outwards. They come up and round and over, and then down, out in front. Give those arms a little shake out. Hopefully that just woke up a little bit of your spine and body. Just come stand at the front of the mat. Give yourself a little shake out. So once we're there, we're just going to take a moment to check in. So this next bit is more kind of movement therapy stuff, but it's really like kind of cool stuff to be aware of for your own body, and hopefully you'll begin to feel how your body can move around slightly easier. So as you stand here, close your eyes, feel your feet grounding down. You basically also are getting a bit of a free session, so I said you haven't paid to come and see me. So close the eyes, feel your foot pressures. Where do you feel your pressure in the feet? Is it forefoot or rear foot, inside or outside? And you're just going to breathe here, slow and steady, in for 4 and out for 6. And just focus, Dexter. Not on Dexter. Focus on your feet. Now, if you feel that your weight is perhaps slightly more to the inside of, say, your right foot and slightly more to the outside of your left foot, can you see how that would be potentially your body dragging you to the left? And then if you kind of want to exaggerate that, you could literally just push the weight into the inside of your left foot, into the outside of your, inside of your right foot, outside of your left foot, and you'll feel your whole body has to shift towards the left. And you'll probably find that your chest will lean towards the right to counterbalance it, and then come back out, and then deliberately push the weight into the instep of your right foot, the outside of your left foot, and you begin to feel that pushing towards the right. The chest and torso goes left to counterbalance it. So you can perhaps feel how, if you just do it each direction one more time, really soft, slow movement, you can perhaps feel how, if you struggle with like your side, your hip being really tight, and you notice that your weight is inside and outside, and it's always on that left hip where you're struggling, perhaps that tissue is just stuck really long, and stretching it's going to do absolutely fuck all to help relax it. Maybe if we then just try to push the foot pressures in the other direction, we can begin to feel those hips shift. We can begin to feel the body lengthening the other way. Maybe that can be a bit more relaxing. Cool. So coming back then to center. Feel your foot pressures one more time. How do they feel? Even just a simple check-in of this, your subconscious can then just kind of begin to wake up to the fact that you stand wonky, and then it will just begin to perhaps work its way back to where it wants to be, back towards a center idea. So let's just draw the arms up over your head now. Interlink the fingers, and again, just take a big morning yawning, pandiculatory type movement. Just try to move yourself around. And then let everything go. Fold forward down over your legs, all the way down towards the floor. Slide your right foot back and drop your right knee to the ground into our kind of low lunge position. Inhale, reach the arms up over your head. Try to bring them up towards straight above your head rather than back behind you. Just try to have them straight up. So I'm going to get started on again. So hopefully with something like this. Now move everything forward an inch. And it's not a huge movement, but hopefully that's given you enough just to give you a bit of a pull in your hip. Tuck your tailbone under you a bit more, and that might give you a slightly bigger sensation. Now let the arms drop down to 12 to 3 o'clock out in front, and feel your back round. That should give you an even bigger pull. Inhale, draw the whole arms back up, and as you do, untuck that tailbone and feel that hip flexor just relax. Bring the hands down on towards the hips, and then you're just going to try to turn your chest to the left. So normally we would do this, we can kind of pull ourselves around. Instead this time, hands are on hips, and you're just trying to rotate your chest left as much as you can. So what you should hopefully be feeling is that you can still get a bit of a pull through your hip flexor just by rotating the chest. Come back through. Inhale, we'll do the arms one more time. Up towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone under you. Feel as if the arms round down. Imagine you're holding a huge beach ball between your arms, and then keep looking forward, and that should give you a big, big pull through that left hip flexor. Now with this shape, now twist left again. And again, trying to lean forward too much, trying to lean back, you're just letting the spine flex. Now, left elbow drops towards the floor, right elbow lifts towards the side. So now we're kind of rotated, side bent and flexed. Coming back out and back towards the center. Hands into the floor, slide that left knee back, child's pose, and relax. Hopefully that right hip flexor, that front of the right thigh, felt like it did a bunch there. Felt like it was trying to slow you down and not move too much. And then let's slowly lift our way back up. So we're going to lift our way back up and tuck our toes and come up on towards our shins. Now this is kind of handy if you've got potentially something to help balance you, a big stick, a child or a dog or a sofa, they might be handy. If not, just blag it, you'll be all right. So what we're going to try and do is bring our right foot back forward out in front of us, but we're going to try and draw as big a hip circle as we can. So sometimes when we do this, we try to just purely get it through a kind of flexion and abdominal work, but this time we're going to try and take it out the side. So we're going to just try to pick. So as you can see, you're not going to be able to pick this foot up unless you shift your weight left. So shift your weight left, pick your right knee up off the floor, pick your right foot up, and then take that knee as wide around the edge as you can. As wide around, then step it forward. So now we've come into our hip flexor on the other side. So we start with this fairly 90-90 leg shape and we draw the arms up over the head. So we're trying to find this straight line, not trying to find a big back bend or anything. Now again, from there, everything moves forward 1/4 of an inch. And feel how that feels in this left hip. My left hip is always a bit kind of sleepier, it's a bit darker. I can't always find that space as well. Cool. So now just begin to tuck your tailbone under you a little bit. You should feel as if just the tucking of the tailbone hopefully draws your ribs down a little bit. Hands are going to, fingertips touch, round your spine, keep looking forward. This should give you an even bigger pull. It should feel like quite a wide, fat stretch through that hip. Inhale, let's lift it back up slowly, steadily, up towards the sky. Untuck that tailbone, reaching tall, reaching tall, reaching tall. And then again, move the weight forward 1/4 of an inch, tuck the tailbone. Try not to do it with your bum cheek though, relax your bum cheek. Can you do it without gripping your bum? Fingertips touch, bring the hands down, out in front. And again, so now we've got this fully flexed position with chin still looking forward. Imagine you just resting it onto a bookshelf or something. Now from here, we're going to begin to rotate our chest to the right. Keep looking forward, head on the horizon. Now, again, side bend, right elbow down, left elbow up. Keep looking forward. Keep having that weight slightly further forward than perhaps you think it should be. We're just going to begin to, again, hands onto hips, slightly different route, things what we did last time, but now again, we're just going to rotate the chest to the right. And again, we're just doing it through the legs, through the chest, through the belly, rather than forcing ourselves with our arms. Coming back out. Bring your hands down to the floor. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee. Step your way to the front and fold back down over your legs and sway yourself around a bit. And then you can again begin to just straighten your knees. So what's probably going to happen again, so just trying to be aware of how your body might move. Now when you straighten your knees, you might move your bum back in space. Try not to do that. Try to keep your bum over your feet, then try to straighten your knees. Now from there again, let's just roll our way slowly. Chin is just hanging down. Spine is slowly rolling up. And we make our way up to stand. Just roll the shoulders onto the back body. Draw some little circles with your head. And then let your chin drop back down towards your chest. And then roll down. Dogs clearly think they're going out. So just using your breath to ignore fingers maybe touch, but your knees feel like they're straight. Just begin to then soften the knees. Let yourself come the rest of the way down onto the balls of the feet. Rising up on the balls of the feet to as upright a position as you can find. And then let's sink our bum down, sink down to the floor, grab hold of the knees, and we'll draw some more little lines up and down our back. And then let's just roll down on towards our backs. From here, let's straighten our left leg, pulling that right knee in towards the chest, giving it a big hug and a big squeeze. Right arm comes out beside us and we twist over towards the right. That made no sense, Twisting over towards the left with the right knee. And then if you wish to, you could begin to try to straighten your right leg as well. It might be that you could, maybe possibly one day, maybe never, grab hold of the outside of your right leg with your left hand, or your right foot with your left hand. See which one works for you. Again, that might never be a possibility for you. It's really not an important thing to ever be able to do, but you might just one day be there. And again, just let your head rock towards the left. So you're looking at your right foot being held with your left hand, potentially. You might not be, but you're looking left, whatever. And you'll try to feel your right shoulder coming down, feeling an opening through the right side of the chest and the shoulder. Using your breath to find some moments of stillness within that. And then right knee comes in, roll back down on towards your back. Give that right knee one last hug and a squeeze, and then pull the left knee in. We'll do the same there too. Right leg goes long. And then the right hand on the left knee, we roll onto the left side of our bodies. Perhaps, maybe, if you wanted to, you could begin to straighten your left leg. But again, unimportant. Shape, posture, whatever we want to pick, it's only important if we can do it within a comfortable realm, as if in a comfortable place in which we can breathe and relax and allow the nervous system to feel safe. Allow an unraveling to occur. Not forcing. Just breathing and being. And then again, slowly releasing and rolling back down on towards your back. Finding a little bridge pose. So we're just going to bring those heels in towards the bum, hands down by your sides. Tuck your tailbone under you. Push in towards the floor of your feet, hands on your ribs, just to try to hold your ribs down in space. Feel that extension through the hips. Try to relax bum cheeks as best as you can. If you wanted to now, you could begin to draw the arms up over your head. You will feel a bit like when we did those circumduction circles with the arms, that the chest does rise and lift a little bit. And then if we bring those arms back up towards the sky, as we roll them back down towards the floor, it should just guide our back down into the earth. Grab hold of the knees. Give them a little hug and a squeeze. And then slowly let those legs go long. So we're just going to take the last, however long it is, let's have a quick look, the last 5 or 6 minutes in Shavasana, just to let everything go. And again, we're going to return to that simple box breathing that we did at the beginning. Trying to get our breath to be more and more the bigger part of our practice, to allow the nervous system the space to move better. So moving into whatever place maybe you started at the beginning, whether it be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or even, shall I say, whichever part you finished, wherever you finished the beginning practice of this breathing. Just guiding that breath in. Just one more round, whatever breath count you're currently doing. And whenever you find that breath count finishing, allowing the knees to gently draw up in towards your belly. Again, if you're still doing like an 8-second count, you're still going to have the best part of 30 seconds left of breathing, so don't feel the need to rush. But as you move into that place of finishing, allow the knees to hug in to a little ball, rolling your way up to a nice comfortable seated position. And just keep the eyes closed for a few more seconds. And again, can you just feel your shoulder blade, your shoulders, your arms hang out of your sockets? Can you just let them go as heavy as possible? Can you let your jaw feel heavy? Can you let your cheeks, your eyes feel heavy? Your forehead and temples feel heavy? Can we just take a moment to unravel the tension that we're just holding for no reason? Finding the hands rising in prayer up to the third eye. Just fold forward down over the legs. Lakata Samastha, Sukhaneva Bantu. May all beings be happy and free. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all very much for joining in. Hopefully that was a not too strenuous start to a Monday morning.
That was brilliant, Wibbs. Thank you so much.
Yeah, right. Susie's outside. Look at her. God, making the most of the sun.
Yeah, bloody lovely.
Lovely.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. It's lovely to see you all. And yeah, I'll let you know this week what we'll do time-wise next week. But I'll see some of you on Wednesday, and Jen will see some of you on tomorrow, and on whatever else, you know, when the classes are. So I'll see you all then. Have a lovely time, guys. See you all soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye.